All right. Well, hey, everybody. Welcome in on a Thursday. Thursday. Good luck. How about a Tuesday? Welcome in on a Tuesday night. It's Tuesday, last day of March already, 2026. Isn't that insane? Already the last day of March. Got this beauty in my hands right now, but I want to give you guys a quick update about the happenings in the shop over the weekend. Everything went really well. Made a lot of progress, actually. And let me go ahead and put this down and I'll show you a little bit about what we got done. So let me go ahead and put this big guy here away. And we'll turn our attention here to the short scale bass. And since we're not going to be focusing on the bass I'm playing, let's move this camera around. All right. So nice progress this weekend. Still have it mocked up with the bridge in place, but you can see we have the cavities now for the pickups are there. I haven't drilled it into the electronics cavity yet, but also the neck is now mounted to the body. And we did that as per usual. 4 screws, sheen screws, 5 millimeter screws. And the heel carve is all finished up. Neck carve is all finished up. Really, really happy with how this is coming out so far. See there? Got the fret slots in as well. And this is the first time in quite a while that I have slotted manually. So I measured these out with the help with the chart from our good friends over at StuMac. You just plug in a few details and it spits out the measurements for you. So I used that. Worked really well. Got it marked out. Got them cut in initially with a marking knife, and then came back in with the fret saw. Got them down to depth, and then after I radius the fretboard, I went back through and then reestablished the depth on these. So these are to their final depth. Still need to polish up the fretboard a bit before I go ahead and install the frets, but it's looking really good. And yeah, I'm so very, very happy with the carve on this neck. It's a pretty slim profile here, as you can see. We're down to 780 up here, so just over 3/4 of an inch will be the height here. And we are going to use collective we. I'm going to be using a medium width, taller fret, so easy to play, easy for a young hand to get fretted in there as well. And so that'll give it a little bit more height right there, so it doesn't feel quite as thin as this, but it's fairly thin. I'd say it's like a modern C shape. And slightly asymmetric. I took a little bit more off the shoulder on the treble side because I find that my hand and my daughter did as well. My daughter, who's 11 as well, as a young player is going to be getting this, found that her hand just rested nicely on the back with a little bit more shoulder up here and was able to just curve around the front the fretboard a little bit easier that way as well. So I have a slightly more rounded shoulder on the bass side and a slightly more knocked off shoulder on the treble side. And honestly, it's subtle. You won't feel a ton. It'll just feel comfortable, and that's what I was aiming for here. So, but with this now, you can see how that beautiful piece of rosewood. I mean, this isn't even really polished up or anything yet, but you can see how pretty that piece of wood is, and that um, beautiful quilted maple top. Again, this is all from our friends over at California Exotic Hardwoods. Really, really pretty stuff we got from over there. And then the multi-piece maple neck with those beautiful roasted maple center ribs going right down the center. And again, built this with a pair of carbon fiber stiffening rods, and then the StuMac, the hot rod low profile double adjustable truss rod. So that's what makes up the core of this neck. I'm gonna do a bone nut, and again, those frets are gonna be it's a steel fret. I'm not gonna do a stainless steel fret on this. The fret wire that I'm getting from StuMac these days, really good quality. It's pretty hard, and a lot of the stainless steel that's out there right now is not a whole heck of a lot harder. So definitely check that when you're looking. Just because it says stainless doesn't mean it's a really hard stainless. There's varying degrees of hardness in stainless steel, just like there is in mild steel. So the hardness on the mild steel from StewMac is pretty comparable actually to a lot of the cheaper stainless steel that you see out there as well. So don't just look for the stainless steel marker, but I've had good luck with them, and they polish up real nice. They play real nice. They don't oxidize really quickly, and I really appreciate that. So should be pretty cool. But yeah, there we go. That's where we are with the bass so far. This is going to be early P bass short scale. This is a 30-inch short scale, and there it is plugged in with the Goto tuners that are going to be final product here. Really happy little 4 millimeter hole there for the truss rod adjustment, and just wicked comfortable. Really, really happy with it, and not a ton of taper in the neck, so it stays pretty flat, which again was what I wanted. I wanted it to stay reasonably flat. It's a little over a tenth larger at the heel than it is at the first fret, so a nice comfortable taper. So we got that all done. You can see we also got the string through holes are ready to go as well. So all the machine work on this buddy's done, and that comfort carve. So it lays in there nice. It's super comfortable up against your body, which I like quite a bit. And man, this thing is going to be so light. It's ridiculous. So very nice here though. Isn't that a pretty color? That's a pretty piece of wood, right? So yeah, string through on the body. I'm going to use black ferrules for that, just like the bridge here. And you can see we did a curly maple cover on the back there as well. You can see some nice chatoyance in that piece. It's going to look great. And so the whole thing being pink, that'll end up being pink too, but nice little bit of flavor there for the back of the bass. So really happy. And you probably see here, got some places where that dry cracking kind of ended up right there in there. So I'm gonna have a lot of fun. I'm gonna fill that in, I think, with like a black epoxy, and then because I'm still thinking about how I'm gonna treat this edge. I've run a couple of ideas by the girls, and they liked what I was talking about and thought it would look cool. So I'm excited to show you guys that once I get it going. But there you go. That's a short scale bass. That's the progress we made this last week. Really happy with it, and it's coming together really nice. You can see got a nice tight pocket there for the neck. Left just a little bit of room in there because I am going to use I'm going to use a polyurethane top coat on this, and that's going to be a little bit thicker, and they sit right on top of the wood. They don't penetrate at all really. So I wanted to make sure I had enough room for that pocket, and I want to use a urethane finish on this just to give it some more protection. It's going to get beat around a little bit, so every little motion with it shouldn't end up with a ding though, right? So that's why I was like, if I just do a linseed oil finish, that's not going to be durable enough. If I just do true oil is great, but even in several layers, it doesn't give you a super hard finish. It's nice, very nice. But so I think doing really thin wipe on poly and do several thin coats of that with kind of a mix of mineral spirit just to get it to flow really well and really evenly. I think that'll be the trick here. So something that looks like a wipe on oil. I'm not going to build it up too big so it looks plasticky, but it should give it a lot more protection than just using the oil alone. So I think that'll be a lot of fun to do that. Also got strings on order as well. I ordered a couple different sets because I'm not sure how the short scale strings are going to feel compared to a long scale string. I've never played. I played a couple of short scale basses, but man, it's been a few years ago, and I really don't remember. What I remember is that they were a lot floppier than the longer scale bass. So it'll be fun to try out a couple of different sets. And what they are is just mainly a couple of different weights of strings. I wanted to try a lightweight versus standard, and on a standard on a short scale is like 40, 60, 80, 100 instead of 45, 65, 85, 105. And the lighter set is like a 40, 55, 75, 90, or something like that. So I'm a couple of different things there. I wanted to see how they were going to feel and what they did to the bass too. So really curious. This neck's stiff enough to where I'm not really concerned about any weight of string going on it. It's not going to move this neck. So I'm not concerned about that. It's mainly just how is it going to play, and I'm curious if those lighter strings will play a little bit easier and be a little easier for that young lady to get into and start moving around. So we shall see. So I'm going to give that a go, give it a test, and start. I need to really figure out what pickups are going to go in here. Like I mentioned last week, I think I'd really like to try and get a visit up to see our friends over at Nordstrand because they've got a P-base set that has their blades, which I've really come to like quite a bit. So, and just their products in general. So, I was thinking about scheduling a trip up to Redlands to go see, and I'll bring the project with me to show it off to our friends up there and get a little bit of feedback from them as well. Talk to the experts who make the things and see if they have some advice on this particular base and what might be a really great fit for it and for this young player. So I'm excited to try and see if I can pull that together over the next couple of weeks while I'm working on the rest of this. No huge rush. The P-base pickups, they're not really a lot different in size, so I don't have to worry about getting them in there. Pockets are ready to go. I'll get the rest of this done, get the electronics done, get the finish on it, start working towards getting the finish on the neck as well. And I got plenty of work to do here before we even think about getting a pickup in it. So, but so that'll give me a couple minutes anyway to get see if I can get that call done and see if I can get an appointment to come up there and say hello. But I'll let you guys know when I do that. Probably film something for it too, but we'll get there. All right, so there you go. Short scale P base, making some progress. So really excited about that. It's been a really good weekend. It was a really great weekend. The only big negative from the weekend was I'm making a little too much noise in the garage sometimes, so the neighbors were a little upset. And we had a chat. So I'm going to do my best to be a better neighbor and see if I can quiet things down out there. It's a regular garage. My neighbors are pretty darn close, and I got one of those, just a thin steel garage door, the sectional garage door, and no insulation or anything in it. So I'm going to add some insulation to it. I'm getting a couple of sound blankets, so hopefully that'll kill it enough to where I can not piss off the neighbors too much, but we'll see how it goes. I'll show you guys when I'm making those updates to the shop, and you guys can get a chuckle out of me trying to put styrofoam into garage doors. So got that to look forward to. That'll be exciting. And yeah, more work on a couple of the projects a little bit this weekend as well. Also, I posted up sound samples for these two right here. So the Ash Top and the Cosmic Burst F-Type, the other P bass in the collection here. Both now have sound samples on their listings on Reverb, and they're posted up on YouTube too if you just want to go in there and laugh at my playing. Don't say nasty shit because I'll just call you an asshole and delete it. But so be nice. But because I know I'm a crappy player, it's fun. And I'm okay with it. I just like I say, I like strumming around, having a good time, just like anybody else. So, but yeah, I wanted to get some sound samples up for the basses, so I got those two done. So far, those two over that shoulder Ken, and I'm going to continue working here. I'll get a couple more up here for these two. And the guitars, I don't think you're going to hear me play the guitars because as bad as I am at bass, I'm even worse on the 6-string. So I still like playing them too and strumming along with my favorite tunes. But man, I wouldn't even call myself bad. I'm pretty terrible, but that's okay. I don't care. I'm having a good time. All right, guys, have a great Tuesday night and have a great rest of your week, whatever it is you guys are doing. I'll check in later this week. Keep an eye out for the additional recordings I've got coming up for the additional for the other basses here and the updated listings on Reverb. And have a good one until we see you next time. Take care, everybody.